You're watching National Streaming Sports, over 20 podcasts, 70 shows, and a 3.5-star rating on Roku TV.
Good evening, everybody. Hello, we are back with the Raider report card. And let me tell you, Cap Jack, this is officially mid-season, okay?
Yeah.
And we have a pretty good idea of where things are going. What are you thinking in terms of, do we have a clear idea of where we got to go for next year?
Now, I don't know if you noticed this or not, but the graphic for the report card, I changed it. Because the very first one was like right after the Baltimore game, and it was the Raider, and it was all A pluses, right? Look at the graphic for this show. and I was kind. I put F- for all of them. F- for everything.
And you're gonna see, you know me, I'm famous for coming out with something that's just off the sky, but I got a lot of evidence report. I actually don't think the Raiders played a bad game at all. Given the handicaps.
I get it, and I agree with that, but remember, we are encapsulating 3 to 4 weeks of losses. Right. So because we are encapsulating all of that,
I agree. Yeah.
I just, because it's been a while.
And I want to start right off the top with a topic that's on everybody's list. I see this craziness up and down my Facebook news feed, Instagram, the performance of the head coach. What grade do you give him? I want to start with him right away.
Being kind to AP, because now, unfortunately, it all comes from the top. The buck stops here. Harry Truman, who's one of the few Democrats, and I'm throwing it out there as I don't do political, but Harry Truman, one of the few Democrats who I actually have positive things for, said it best. The buck stops here. So if you go by that, it's ultimately Antonio Pierce's positives or negatives, even though it's not, but he's responsible because he has the assistant coaches underneath him, and
Right.
it's his charge to get, and here's the next kick, the offense to actually perform. That's a gag right there. The defense, for the most part, and the defense has kept us in these games, Peggy.
There's no question about that. Anybody that knows football can see that. But overall, as a head coach, balancing his job, clock management, team preparation. I'm talking about the head coach.
Yeah, I'll be kind.
Penalties.
I'll be kind.
Challenges.
Yeah, I'll be kind and say a D, a delta, a solid delta. Not a failure, but just above a failure.
And I'm going to give him a C, and I'm going to tell you why. I have got to take into account that the major mistake that Pierce made was made in February, when he did not go out and demand that he get the best offensive coordinator available. And there were other people other than Cliff Kingsbury, who's everybody's all hung up on. There were other guys out there that had way more experience with Getsy, way more success than Getsy, okay? Deeper resumes than Getsy. The minute Getsy's name was presented to Pierce, he should have said, oh no, let's look some more. Let's look at college, okay? Go somewhere else. Get me another list. And if he didn't have the power at that time to decide who he was going to get to fix, what he should have known was his biggest problem, hands down. Second, of course, being to the O-line.
Thank you. I said, don't forget the O-line.
But wait a minute. That still starts with the offensive coordinator.
True.
It has to start there. That is the job that Getsy was hired to do. And I knew from the hire, this job was way over his head.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't going to begin. And if Pierce didn't know that, that's his first mistake. Huge.
Oh, yeah.
That offensive coordinator position is going to determine whether he keeps the job for more than 2 years. I think they're going to give him this year, but next year he can't keep Getsy as his coordinator. He absolutely cannot.
He better not keep Getsy past the effing bye week.
Y'all are so harsh.
No, I'm there, and you know that I'm of a mind, and you know this as well. It's like, give him some time, let him prove. And I said that with McFired last year. I said he had that year. I said okay, I'm not happy, but but by the time that I said get rid of him,
he had a whole year. Okay,
right, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not as short on the fuse as I can be, but my fuse is this: if the Raiders go to Cincy, and the only reason why I'm going to Cincinnati, and I'm being honest here, the only reason why I'm going to Cincinnati is A, I got a ticket, and B, the ticket is on TickPick, and I can't sell it quick enough because I haven't gotten it to sell it. If I had this ticket from Ticketmaster, I wouldn't even be going. I don't even have a hotel room yet. No, I don't even have a hotel room yet. I got to do that after the show.
But You are gonna visit our friends at the Bengal Bomb Squad, aren't you? Gonna stop by and say hi to them, John Carter and all those guys.
If you give me that information, I will be more than happy, because this will be a social visit. Because
right, mm-hmm.
Please,
let's get back to Pierce. Pierce is a defensive guy. I know people want to hold him responsible for the play call and blah blah blah, and the buck does stop there.
No,
but
it does. But I mean, he's. That's why I said
already made the first mistake of his head coaching tenure.
He's got Joe Philbin on his staff.
If he doesn't realize that Philbin should have been the OC and gets to the assistant, he's still making a mistake. He does not, and defensive guys do this a lot.
Yeah.
Even Bill Belichick, even Parcells, defensive guys have this thing about not thinking that the offense is as important as the defense. I don't know why. They have this blind spot to really understanding it's your OC. You need a guy you can put that offense in his hands and know that it's going to be taken care of. Okay? If you don't have that and you're a defensive guy, you don't know jack crap about how an offense is put together week to week, you're in trouble. And that's where Pierce is. He really can't fix it. He doesn't have the know-how.
I will be more than happy if I'm ever, and I've said this before. I'm not really enamored with the choice of Tom Brady as an owner.
And we'll get to that.
But I said this. I said, if anybody allows me, and I don't know if they ever will, but if they ever allow me to talk to Tom Brady, I will say, Tom, I really have despised you since you were at the podium after the Tuck game. However, if you can do something with this team and have Richard Seymour help you with this team, if you two can put it together, I will be so much happier than I
this is just more of the same. I can't believe that Raider Nation doesn't see this is more Mark Davis trying to get someone else to bail him out. In 12 years, he has not rolled up his sleeves and at least learned from franchises like the Steelers and the Green Bay Packers and the Rams how to put together a championship team. He said 12 years. If you own a tomato factory, you need to learn everything there is about tomatoes. That way people can't come in your office talking bullshit. What Mark has is nothing to compare the advice with.
I got it.
He doesn't have the back. He doesn't need to know X's and O's. Forget all that stuff his dad didn't teach him. His dad didn't have to teach him. It's basic business. If I run a screw factory, then I'm going to learn everything about screws.
Yeah, he does run a screw factory.
I'm going to learn everything there is to know about screws because it's mine. And I want it to be successful. I won't just hire any old body and they tell me any old thing because I don't know nothing about screws.
Well, he actually, and I'm going back a bit. He actually did listen to people, and you know who I'm probably about ready to throw out.
But what did he have to compare it against?
Well,
this is why y'all are crazy to think that Tom Brady, a guy with zero experience running a franchise.
I get it.
This is more Mark Davis again trying to be Sven Galley.
I get it.
He's trying to reinvent everything. Tom Brady don't know nothing about running a franchise. He knows nothing about running a front office. He knows nothing about selecting a personnel. All he's been is a 6-time Super Bowl champion quarterback on the field.
I got it. But wait, now, I agree.
No,
Peggy,
he has zero experience.
I got it. And you know what? I effing agree with you. But remember the last time that he asked people that allegedly knew what the F was going on. And trust me, I am keeping it at F because I want to say the full word. He asked 3 people who to bring in as the GM, and their best idea was Reggie effing McKenzie. Okay?
With
because
zero
Wait a second for a second. He relied on people that he trusted, John Madden being one of them, Ken Herrock being the other one, and the other guy who's in the Hall of Fame, the Packer/Raider GM, for advice.
Wolf.
Because thank you, Ron Wolf. And they gave him Reggie effing McKenzie because he didn't know anything. So he relied on these people. And look what that got him. Now, the other thing.
Who did he listen to for Jack Del Rio? Who did he listen to that told him, okay, it's a good idea to bring Gruden back? Who did he listen to? Mark's not listening to anybody. Don't you get it? He's running a tomato factory and he doesn't know tomatoes. I don't care what they have to say about it. I don't know what else to say.
You and I could, and I'm gonna say it right now. You and I can run this fucking team a lot better than Mark fucking Davis.
They'd be calling security on us. When I tell everybody, security would be escorting us out.
I was bubbling. It took me a while to drop.
Let's get back to the report card. So let's go right to Getsy.
Getsy. Oh, that is a snap.
First, give me the grade. Give me the grade.
Z, because there's nothing less than Z. That is a snap in Z formation, baby. It's not an F. It's not an H. It's not an M. It's a Z formation for Luke effing Getsy because he has no clue how to run an offense. Thank you.
And it's an F. And I'm going to even go further, Raider Nation, and say to you, the reason why we had to get rid of him, not because he's he's a bad offensive coordinator, but because we have to draft a quarterback in 2025. And Luke Getsy is the last person you want in charge of developing your rookie quarterback. See Fields in Chicago. Okay?
Who's that? And he did rather well.
Quality. Right. What I'm saying is the reason Getsy has to go is because if we're going to bring a rookie quarterback in here, Getsy can't be the guy. He just can't.
No.
You can't take that kind of. It's too big of a gamble. It's too big of a life-changing moment for our franchise. We have to have a top offensive coordinator who has experience. And oh, by the way, hopefully Pierce will get his second chance, and he has to grow a set of balls. He has to say to
baby,
let's go.
You got no marbles.
Do not saddle me with somebody who's got the training wheels on, because I got training wheels on. You can't do that. What you have to understand, and Mark needs to understand this too, when you get into positions like head coach, GM, even owner, there are always people trying to take you down.
Yeah.
Always. And that's why the advice you get, you have to have a brain and some knowledge to measure whether the advice makes sense. There's no way McDaniel should have come in his office and says, we got to get rid of Carr. The first question Mark should have asked, why? And who are you going to replace him with? Before we even talk about running him out of town and abusing him, let's talk about replacing a 3,500, 4,000 yard a year production. Let's talk about replacing the arm. I mean, those are the questions Mark should have been asking. But of course he couldn't, could he? He's still looking for somebody else to run that franchise. Getsy gets an F. And the reason he gets an F
and
is
that's
because
kind.
he doesn't, right,
that's
it's
kind.
because he doesn't know he's in above his head. He doesn't even know it. Can't you tell? Every time we have four, I had 4 questions I asked Captain, and I know you're going to have the answer to. Number 1, why does Bowers keep disappearing in games? Number 2, how is it that we cannot run outside instead of inside because we know our inside? Why are we continuing to run inside play after play when you know your center and guards are, and I'm going to use a word, they're simply trash, okay? How did you think James was worthy of a 3-year contract? That's why I know he's in way over his head. How come your quarterback can't go back to pass without getting hit or knocked down? And how come you can't stretch the field starting with first quarter? I don't care if the balls are incomplete. I want that ball deep. I want a statement being made that we're going to use the entire field to score. As I stated in my article, people don't have to worry about playing cover 2, cover 3 at all. They don't have to worry about prevent either. That they don't need. The Kansas City Chiefs weren't even in prevent. That's how little respect they had for our deep game.
Peggy,
I mean,
and I know you know this. What was normally when Al Davis was the owner of this organization and John Madden was the coach of this organization, and even when Tom Flores was head coach of this organization, how often did the Raiders come out on their very first play and threw a effing bomb? Whether it was Stabler or LaMonica.
Make a statement. You have to you can't do it just once. You have to keep trying to do it, even if it's incomplete. I don't care. 5 times 5 incompletions. You have to announce that you are stretching the field. You have to make them worried about what's going on behind them. That's why they've been able to stay in 5- and 6-man fronts, and that's why we can't run the ball. And Getsy, I can tell he's still he don't understand how over his head. He really, this job is so beyond him. And I haven't seen that in a long time. Have you seen that? A guy that's out there coaching and you can tell he doesn't have a clue. He really doesn't have a clue.
Yeah, I saw it the last 2 years when a certain head coach that doubled as the offensive coordinator was running the club. So yes, I have seen it recently.
He did have a clue. He did have a clue. You're going to do it my way, and you're going to keep trying to do it. He had a plan. Guess he doesn't have a plan.
Well, also, if you're going to go there, do you remember the debacles we had with Ken Norton Jr. as our defensive coordinator?
And I had to remind people that in 2017, there must have been an argument between Del Rio and our alleged GM McKenzie over what to do with Norton. Because what did they do? They went and hired John Pagano and made him the co-defensive coordinator.
Yep.
I'm gonna put your replacement in because I don't trust you. I wanted to fire you, but Jack Del Rio didn't want me to, but I'm going to put your replacement there. This is the kind of thinking that goes on inside the Raider organization, and it's the reason why we're losing a lot of games. There's just no championship franchise hires a co-defensive coordinator, but we did, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. Well,
knowing that we weren't going to last the season. Should have done that with Gunther, but anyway.
Yeah.
Let's go to grading Minshew.
A solid F.
Why?
And why? Because it's not his fault that he gets a lot of yardage in garbage. I mean, I would say I would give him, honestly, maybe I'm being facetious. I would say a C minus D plus. It would be higher if he would. And again, I'm going over the last few games. It would be higher. It would be higher if he didn't fumble for 6 points or fumble to give the Kansas City Chiefs another score that they eventually needed, or all the interceptions that he had. So that's why I'll give him a delta, a D, and that's kind. He has a lot of decent, but it's like the old expression I had with I can't remember the kid's name who played Philip Buchanan. Philip giveth and Philip taketh away. He'll make one great play and then he'll give it up on the next play. Minshew will come in and he played decently, but then when he needed ball security, what does he do? He fumbles the effing ball in midfield right after we needed that stop, and it gave him another friggin' 7 points.
Okay. Yeah, well, the goal line stand, but let's go beyond that. Okay. I want to talk more about Minshew. I want to start opening people's eyes to what is really going on at field level to cause the interceptions and the ball mishandling, the ball insecurity.
Well, there's security. He all he sees is whoever's wearing the opposite jerseys are on his ass in 2 seconds.
It's worse than that. He's seeing his own guys in his face, the back of their jerseys being pushed into him every single pass play. I'm telling you, the mindset, the thinking, the safety, and a quarterback who has to constantly worry about where he's going to get hit next. And oh, by the way, you better be damn happy that he didn't get hurt too. Because if he goes down with that ass pass blocking O-line, who we got? What you got for me?
I'm actually glad you asked that, okay? Because you're going to laugh at this, but there's a quarterback on our roster that actually has rapport with the speediest wide receiver that we have.
Excuse me.
Wait a second.
Experienced quarterback. Yes. Actually played and started and Desmond Ridder might be your guy. He got a bad deal, by the way.
And I think he probably has the same, maybe not quite, but he almost has the same amount of starts that Minshew has.
Minshew has way more starts. He's been in the
league longer. But Desmond Ridder has started.
Why are y'all constantly trying to figure out ways to get Minshew is our best chance to win games, guys. Even in the Rams game, he got us close enough to kick 5 field goals.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Wait a minute.
We gave that game away too.
Even in the Kansas City game, with the goal line stand, the fumble, and everything else, we scored 20 points. I have seen it worse.
First time in how long?
If you're still pissed because we still lost, the offense didn't score more.
Yes.
Then you're just going to stay like that all season long. Okay? Because that's what you're going to see as long as your O-line is trash. And I mean
fine.
trash. And there are two young guys on that O-line, bless their heart. I call them infants.
Yeah,
We just want to have.
The rookies.
They have training wheels on too. They were getting blown out of the water by the Kansas City D-line. And we're just going to have to put up with that too. Because
but I tell you what, I will take
4 of the 5 penalties were on those 2 rookies. They're learning.
And I will take JPJ and Glaze learning as and this is unfortunately it's a throwaway year, but they are learning under fire, but they got the capabilities to be some decent offensive linemen.
But not because
next year. JPJ moving over to center and getting rid of a bad contract with a guy who gets pushed. Boy, I can make a very bad joke here. I'm not going to. That gets pushed in a lot. I'm just going to leave it at that. JPJ at center. We still need 2 guards though, because he's still the best guard we got, right? So you need JPJ at center. You need 2 guards. You got Glaze at the right, and you need a new left tackle too.
Well, we'll get to the grade of the A-line, O-line, but I give Minshew a C, and it would be much better for me if he didn't have those ball insecurity problems. But I submit the ball insecurities is about pass protection insecurity, okay? And it's about the plays that he's expected to execute. He's like,
I will give you pass insecurities for the fumble in the Rams game.
Sorry. What do you want from him? What exactly do you want from him? He's getting hit and knocked down every pass play. What do you want? Tell me what you want.
Right here.
You want Lamar Jackson?
No.
Or do you want Tom Brady?
Do not swear on my show and our show. I want a quarterback that can hold on to the effing ball.
I know. I want an O-line that can protect my quarterback.
I got you, but if you know you don't have that, hold on to the effing ball, honey. And by the way, it also goes to when you throw it, don't go to the other tee.
Instead of getting sacked 5 times, he gets sacked 8 times. That's better. I don't understand what we want from him. I don't understand what Raider Nation wants from Minshew. Give him the pass protection, and those INTs and all that fumbling will go away magically.
Okay. Now, if that's true, which is true, then Dr. Holmes, how do you fix the problem that you and I both see right now?
You don't. And so for the rest of the season, you're going to see crazy interception, crazy fumbling, people scrambling around, not knowing what to do. And oh, by the way, Minshew's third problem, which I know he didn't sign up for, is and trash wide receivers, except for Myers too. I mean, come on now. He got Bowers and he got Myers. That's it.
Yeah, but that's true. But if you got Bowers, and if you got wait a second. If you got Myers and Bowers, then why the hell are you only seeing them in the first quarter and at the end of the fourth quarter, and they disappear from quarter like the end point of the first quarter to the beginning of the fourth quarter? If that's all you got, then where the F are they in the second and the third quarter? Because you got a trash OC that doesn't know how to feed them the ball.
But I already told you, the Dr. Holmes diagnosed the problem. He really doesn't know he's in over his head. He doesn't have a clue.
We need to
He
go.
really doesn't know how bad his thinking is, the way he thinks about the game is. And it's all because he has a trash O-line. I mean, the things that he might have wanted to do, can't do it. Okay? Like running up the middle. He is just stuck there.
Oh, yeah,
isn't he? Because in Chicago, right? They were the number one rushing team in 2022.
You know what?
And the number 2 rushing team in 2023. So all he knows how to do is run the ball. They were 26th and 30th in passing. That's why he shouldn't even have been on the Raiders list of people to hire. He shouldn't even have been on the list.
Okay, by the way, can we go back, because you said that, and they settled for him. Who else? Because I've asked this. Cliff Kingsbury.
I can't answer it. I don't want to hear about Cliff Kingsbury anymore.
No.
Okay,
wait, no. Listen.
Just like the people that think that Harbaugh
that guy went to DC. That guy went to DC in your neck of the woods with a rookie quarterback, and their team is lighting up the offense.
Year one, he'll be back down to earth next year. I never say anything about rookie quarterbacks. Nobody has any film on him. CJ Stroud, he's about looking average now. He ain't blowing nobody's doors off anymore. Okay, and that's because they got film on him. That's easy.
I'm just saying that, and I'm not a big Cliff Kingsbury fan either. Seriously.
I don't want to hear about him anymore. We couldn't get him. That's the end. There were other guys out there, even at the college level.
And where are they? They're not here.
We don't know whether the Raiders reached out, and everybody says no, because just like I'm telling y'all, Harbaugh would have never come to this shit show. And I'm going to say it just like that. Harbaugh got better sense. The Raiders eat coaches for breakfast, and no one with any kind of sense, any kind of clout is coming here. So we got to find the best and the brightest who need a shot. We could have gone to college. We don't know, Captain, do we? Who did they ask?
Peggy, we got to do something to infiltrate. You know, we got to do something to infiltrate the front office, okay? So they'll listen to us.
Telesco, I believe, has a deeper, better network. He probably, I don't know where the idea came to get Luke Getsy. It came from somewhere. We don't know.
But remember who he was endorsed by. You do remember who he was endorsed by.
Who?
Are you seriously not forgetting?
When I heard the name Getsy, I flipped the off switch.
Okay.
And it's been off ever since.
There's a certain receiver that got beat by the Steelers in successive weeks.
You gonna ask a player whether it's okay to hire an OC?
Yeah, I'm just saying. If you want to talk about somebody that is getting some bad crap knowledge, it's whoever was feeding this to them. Oh yeah, well Devontae likes him, so he must be good.
This goes back to what I'm saying about Mark Davis. Owns a tomato factory and don't know nothing about tomatoes. People could tell him anything and he'll believe it. That's what happens when you don't learn your product. People walk into your office and say anything and you have nothing to say. Does this make sense or does it not?
Oh, I got you. Because
you don't even know what questions to ask. Like, how are you going to make this work? Because you don't know nothing about making tomatoes.
Well, I always say that we got a dose of that, and I giggle my goony goo goo ass off when I found out that the Jets have Todd Downing as their offensive coordinator.
No. He's their passer. No, he's not their passer. Nathan, I carry a clipboard Hackett is still nominally the offensive coordinator, but they can't fire him because he's Rodgers' guy. Todd
But he's not.
Downing,
They turn it over to Downing. That was
they
the
did
big
not
thing.
fire Nathan Hackett. He's still listed as the offensive coordinator. Now, I don't know. I don't care about the Jets. I care.
I'm
about
just
the Raiders.
saying, this is
So
the same voice, the same voices that said we got to get rid of Musgrave because people are after Todd Downing. And so that is, I'm reiterating the point of what you're saying,
Vrabel
that he's
said
not
when he
listening to the
fired-
right people. He's not listening to the right people. And that's
I'm
Mark
sure
Davis.
Vrabel said the same thing to himself as he was handing Todd down in Tennessee, handing Todd Downing his pink slip. Oh, by the way, just a mere months before he got his own pink slip. But what I'm saying is that we have a situation where we have an owner that has not bothered to learn about the game and is still trying to find somebody else to do the job for him. And
I'll help.
until and I think Telesco, again, he's only been in the job 10 months. I don't know what to say about him. Hi, Edward. I don't know what to say about him, but I do want to move on and now grade. Well, we don't even know. We both give the O-line an F. I want to now move over to the defense. What grade do you give them?
Okay.
They my heroes.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry. I have all of these comments, and I didn't see any of them because my computer was locked. So I want for all the folks that came in. No, I didn't see any of them. So again, Ed and Cliff and Cool Kev, Anna Diaz, the Savages here, to everybody here. I'm sorry. It's not that I was ignoring you. My computer did not even have you listed, so I apologize.
Tell them about did you get the Instagram thing? Tell them about the Instagram.
Well, yeah, the Instagram I see that one is buzzing. I got Jeff Langham and Colin Conradi and Jenny Mills, all the folks on Instagram. So thanks for that. I didn't see any of the YouTube comments because I had to refresh to get the comments. So all of those facts. So apologies.
Wait a minute, I just saw a blast from the past. Mark Trestman for OC. What is he, about 80 now? Is he still?
He can't be any worse.
Well, no.
Yeah, the last time he actually was working in Chicago before he got fired and went to Montreal. Then he went to Montreal because he was with the Alouettes.
Alouettes, yeah. And that was a blast from the past. I mean, but at this point, we've got a guy who really needs to still be an assistant OC. He simply doesn't have the depth of knowledge about the game. He can't problem solve because he doesn't have the experience. And that's what our problem is. And we can't keep him if we're drafting a quarterback. And that brings us to the defense. And I'd like to hear your grade, Captain.
Oh, defense. I would have to be nicely say is unfortunately but I would give them a solid B+ because they're on the field. The only reason why they don't have an A is because there are plays that they give up that's unfortunate, but overall, that's a solid B+ because they're the only reason why we've been in the game against the Chiefs, that we've been in the game against the Rams, that we were, and I can't really talk about
that we won the game, the Ravens game. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on with the defense, and we do see, but I want to talk about people that are emerging as leaders on the field. And this is how you can tell something good is cooking. Trevor Moore. Okay.
Oh,
not
great
only
for that contract.
No, but the other part is, and he's emerging as a leader and a pretty good, decent blitzer too.
Yes,
which is
yes.
something the Raiders have lacked in their defense, either a linebacker or a safety that can actually penetrate up the middle and blitz. I love those delayed blitzes that they call. Those are Marvin Lewis specials, by the way. For those of you who didn't watch Marvin in Cincinnati, that's a Marvin Lewis special. There's no question about it. Trey has been trading. I mean, Spillane, Diablo, they are all quietly doing their jobs. Who we're really, really missing on that D line is Wilkins. Oh my God.
Wilkins and Coons.
So upset. Well, we started out without Coons. So
I got
I'm
it.
not worried about that.
Could you imagine what this D could have been if Wilkins hadn't gotten hurt and we had Malcolm in the middle? I know Malcolm's not in the middle, but
now I'm
that's
talking about why the Raiders are giving up 100 plus yards a game in rushing and seem to have problems now with the pass rush. We're still only getting a sack a game, and the reason is
other than the fact that they won't call holding on Max Crosby on every single.
That's the Kansas City game. All of the games. So
that's every game, Peggy. That's every game.
Maybe, but you need that guy in the middle drawing the double team.
Yes, and we were getting that with Wilkins.
Max right, and that makes Max one-on-one. Unfortunately, 2 games where Wilkins was healthy, Max wasn't. Okay?
Yeah.
So you didn't get the sacks that he could have. But we're missing that guy who draws the double team, the very thing that we brought Wilkins in to do. And oh, by the way, the gap control. Okay? Mm-hmm. And we don't have it anymore. Okay? And Spillane has done a pretty good job of plugging in the middle, but sometimes, he gets kind of in the wrong gap. But
he gets lost in the wash. He gets lost in the wash. But for the most part, but hey, if it wasn't for Spillane and Diablo, and then the rookie and Masterson and Eichenberg, they played well.
Eichenberg's been hurt, hasn't he?
Right, I know. I said when he has played
to start the season, he played exactly 2 games and got hurt again.
Yeah. But Masterson's played well. He's been in there. Okay.
He's another one that's been hurt a lot. Okay. I'm just talking about guys that have managed to stay healthy. Some guy, Polamalu.
Yeah.
I mean, quietly, Epps was nice, but I kind of like the job Polamalu. We still got too many holes. And of course, little old Bennett.
I was going to say, don't forget about Jacorian.
He was completing his rookie year. And someone put up a PFF stat, where he leads the league in the number of defensed passes. He's better than Sauce Gardner. And I didn't know that. I thought the guy could play. I really did, but he was hurt. He missed 5 games, 6 games last year. When they're hurt, you really can't say anything. Now let's go to Jack Jones. What in the heck is going on out there? I have my gurus have a theory. What are you seeing from Jones?
I saw all of that last year, and I haven't seen anything since, unfortunately. And it is unfortunate that he had his breakout look at me year last year, where and if you remember right, folks, he could have had 3 straight pick sixes if he hadn't dropped the effing ball against the Vikings last year. It would have been Chargers and Chiefs and then Vikings before that.
We would have won the game had it been a pick
Thank you. We would have won that game too.
The Vikings weren't scoring nothing either.
Right, and that's why I said that game we could have won. Even if Carlson misses the point, and I don't think it would, we would have won 6-3 on the Jack Jones pick 6, right? Truly. But that was last year, and I have no clue. Will somebody put his ass on a milk carton? Because I really haven't seen him play I've seen Merrick play. I've seen Polamalu play. I've seen Ja'Cory Bennett play. And I haven't seen nothing from Jack Jones other than that fight, the very first game of the year in LA.
All I know is he got benched the first quarter. Which game was that? One of these games this year that Pierce benched him the first quarter. We did not see it. Did you see that play in the Rams game where the dude he positions himself to tackle, the dude gives him the hands to the face, a running back, right? And just pushes him back. He just stumbles backwards. He turns around and then positions himself to make the tackle and misses. You've got to see this play. And that was the third time he just missed the tackle. At first, I thought that he had just reached his hands out, but it turns out the guy was giving him a stiff arm. Okay, on the replay. Because at first I said, "How you reaching for a guy and don't wrap him up?" I don't understand. What kind of angle is that? But then he twirled around and actually had himself positioned for the tackle and missed.
And whiffed? Well, I think those were the types of plays that inspired the AP Business Decisions comment, right? If I remember correctly.
He's been doing it all year. And now this is my theory. I want everybody to hear out there about Jones. He's a press guy. He's a man guy. And Graham is forcing him to play zone. It reminds you of Nnamdi.
I was just going to say that. Nnamdi on the Raiders. Nnamdi on the Raiders is the greatest. You throw him into a zone coverage on the Eagles.
He's done. His career is done.
Yeah.
His entire career was, of course, it helped that he had a wife, like Kerry Washington. But
that doesn't suck. Give me Kerry Washington as a wife, and I'll be more than happy with that.
But the whole point is when you take a press cover man guy, and then you tell him, but I want you to play zone, taking him totally out of his element, he's going to be pissed. And I don't know who keeps making Jones. I think we've got 2-man corners. Captain Jack, am I wrong?
We do. No, we do got 2-man corners, and they got to do something about it. In the fact is, I don't know if you can do like a hybrid
defense. Them play zone. That's why you got so many holes in your zone, because some of them people don't want to play zone.
Well, if we're going to talk about zone and people who miss shit, hey, there's some guy on the team that we played last week. I think his number is 87. I think it's 87. I would quantify it. We could find him. You know where he is? He's in the middle of the field every time, looking around and getting a pass in the middle of the field. And this is supposed to be zone? Then somebody must be blind.
Excuse me. Name a defensive coordinator that the Raiders had that could cover Kelsey. I'll wait.
No, I'll tell you. I'll even go beyond that.
I mean, this goes back 10 years.
Wait a second. I was just going to say, we haven't covered a tight end since the 1970s. Seriously, we haven't covered a tight end since the 1970s.
I mean, I don't think that Kelsey, just like Bowers is our answer to Kelsey, by the way.
Yes, he is.
But he's a younger version. They can't cover Bowers either. Certain guys have the athletic skill set and the size and the smarts all in one package. And that would be Kelsey. Okay? I've seen him get press covered, and oh, by the way, he still leans to catch the ball, even though he knows the coverage is right there. I mean, I wish I had about 3 receivers like him, but we got a guy that I think is better. He does more, and that's Bowers. which brings us back to our poor little OC that's so over his head, he can't think of things to do with Bauer. He can't imagine them.
Well, we got something. We got something there because we know it, we see it, and we're screaming. All of the graphics, fire Luke Getsy. Let Philbin call.
I do not understand what is going on in the Raider organization that Philbin wasn't made the OC and Getsy his assistant. Somebody want to give Getsy a job so bad? Give him that job. He can learn because he had a lot to learn. And he never, that is the one thing that I hold Pierce responsible for. He needs to stand up for himself in the job. I do not know who even had Getsy on the list of people to talk to. Might have been Telesco.
I was going to say, we got to go back. Was Telesco already the GM when they Getsy?
Yeah.
Okay. So then it's Tom T.
No, I just don't think that Telesco would be that stupid. I think maybe people just turned us down. What do you think?
Well, that's true too, and that's why I said it says we don't know who we did or didn't talk to because it didn't get out there. And Getsy was the only guy left. Pardon me, that answered the phone. He wouldn't even
have been on my list. That's the part I don't understand. How did he make the list? This job was so far above his skill set. I mean, you've heard that all the time, right? A guy gets hired for a job. He has neither the temperament, the aptitude, nothing about him. This is what I'm talking about, is a theme in Mark Davis's ownership of the Raiders. It's one of the reasons why we struggle. It's the idea that you can take a guy who doesn't have any experience and he turns out to be a baby Joe Gibbs when you scratch him. No, it doesn't work that way. Joe Gibbs worked under Don Coryell for 9 years.
Yes.
I mean, you've got to have something. You have to have a resume. And for the job, Pierce, tisk. And the other part is, oh, by the way, what's this stuff about NCAA violations coming on the horizon? The more we scratch Pierce, the more we find out, don't we?
Yeah, right? And you know what? That's one of the reasons why the Chargers have their coach right now is there's the NCAA and people that are getting out of their NCAA because they knew stuff was coming. Just like Pete Carroll.
Yeah, Pete Carroll did it.
Jinx, Peggy. And we said it at the same time. We said at the same time. Pete Carroll leaves USC to take the job with the Seahawks. Pierce leaves the job and comes into the Raiders, and he wasn't. Remember, he was just a defensive guy, and now he's the head coach.
A college level. I mean, but to be said, I know guys with far less experience and aptitude who got a chance to be head coaches in this league. So I don't see any problem with taking a chance. But don't y'all notice from day one, that has been Mark's theme, taking guys with no experience and hoping that they somehow grow into the position. When we got Ken Norton Jr., he was a linebacker coach in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Always the theme of taking people, or else we take retreads, the Gus Bradleys and the Greg Olsons of the world, and the Grudens. We take people that have been through the recycling bin about 3-4 times. Jack Del Rio was definitely one of them. Okay. And I mean, the theme has always been, well, maybe we can get something good out of this guy. Mayock, 0 experience as a GM. Ziegler, 0 experience as a GM. I mean, we're always trying to be Dr. Frankenstein or Svengali, right? Either way, Mark's always trying to find a diamond in the rough. Always. Who told McKenzie that Dennis Allen was a good idea?
I have no clue on that one. I have no clue on that one.
Even today, a decade later, Saints fans now know he's a bad idea.
Yeah.
They don't want to admit it because he's an organization guy, right? The Saints love him down there, right? But the whole problem is you're never going to get anywhere with that guy. You're never going to have consistency. You're never going to have commitment.
Well, Peggy, that's why I said if Mark Davis is so intent on hiring people that have like 0 experience on their resume and thinks good things are going to happen, I humbly submit myself as the offensive line coach for the Alconbury Dragons in the Dodds schools of the mid-90s, and with some experience like Mike Mayock has on broadcasting, to be a part of the Raiders franchise. And you know what? I'm saying, and by the way, I got a lady, Peggy Holmes, that has forgotten more shit than a lot of people know on purpose and still knows more than all y'all. And we would take care of this team, Peggy. We would.
Well, I'm telling everybody to go ahead and send their resumes into Mark, because if there's one consistent theme that runs through most of Mark's hires, he always takes a chance on a guy. Okay? He will take a chance on a guy. He didn't take a chance on Bisaccia, but as I pointed out to people, neither has anyone else in the NFL. Okay? I didn't see them rushing up to him with head coaching offers or interviews after we let him go. So, I mean, but that guy had 30 years experience. I trusted him as head coach before I trust AP. You know what I'm saying? What makes Mark make those decisions? It's like he just wants to reinvent the wheel. And I'm not sure that it's good for us. Excuse me, I don't know.
Go get something to drink. But see, this is why the 2025 season started a couple weeks ago. We got to figure, seriously, we know. Well, first off, I know I'm not going to get my 7 wins for the Vegas bet. Okay. I'm not going to get my 7. So all the money that I bet is all officially up in smoke. Like Cheech Chong would say it's gone. Mm-hmm. So here's the thing. We need to start looking right now, okay, at who is available and who is the messianic type plays and coaches for next year. And I say messianic in that respect. Who is going to take us to the promised land? Maybe Moses would be a better thing on that one. But who's available? But right now, Captain, for next year, other than me and you.
The only guys we can talk about at this point, we can't talk about any OCs that are currently employed, but we can talk about college guys.
That I was going to say, how do you feel about the USC coach, Lincoln Riley?
Well, I don't, like I said, I have no idea why Bieniemy was never interviewed for anything. Okay? 1 year with the Washington Redskins under that fraud, Ron Rivera, aka Riverboat, Ron, and suddenly he's persona non grata in the NFL. I mean, he's the architect. If you'll notice, Mahomes hasn't played anything like he played under
No.
Bieniemy. I can't believe that people don't see that. No, Bieniemy has been blackballed.
I was going to say that. I was going to say that.
And
but
for Pierce to let somebody tell him who not to interview when he knows how big a job it was going to be to rebuild an offense that had been completely destroyed by McDaniels. I mean, completely. Do you know that McDaniels, the fallout is still there? Renfro and Waller, two guys that were at the top of their game. By the time McDaniels got finished with them,
they're both retired.
right? He drove them out of the game.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of guy he is. If you're weak, he's going to take your heart from you. That's why when you said, McDaniels is bad, McDaniels had a plan. Everybody was going to do exactly what I say, or I will destroy you. And he did. I hold McDaniels personally responsible for Waller and Renfro not being in the game anymore. They just lost their desire to play. Anyway, Captain, moving on out. I gotta go, but I tell you, we've gone through our report card, and we started at the top with Pierce. I know you've gone over that Kansas City game ad infinitum, but I gotta leave you with that goal line stand. That's got to be Exhibit A of why Getsy can't stay. He just can't stay. And it didn't even have to do with the O-line blocking. I'm like, you got 2 or 3 tight ends. Why haven't you designed a goal line play to put at least 2 of them in the end zone? Where's the faking?
Yes.
I mean, where's the bounce outside?
This is a football. Well, they did try that on 3rd down, and they knew it was coming finally. I said, Raiders are finally going to get smart, and they're going to run it to the outside, and they swallowed that shit up.
Well, because, of course, needless to say, the entire right side of our O-line just collapsed. I mean, we really, really have to say that we cannot evaluate the quarterback or the running back, nor even the wide receivers, till we get that O-line fixed. I'm telling you, you're going to look at this all season long. And I'll leave you with this. The good news, Captain, is by Thanksgiving, all the fair weather fans will be gone. I'll be able to watch the game in peace and not see stupidity up and down my line, because then they'll be watching. Well, what else is on with them? Oh, they'll be watching basketball, right? Hockey.
Yeah.
They'll go and watch something else on Sunday afternoons. I'm so happy, because it's going to look like this for the rest of the season. We're not fixing the O-line. And that means we're not fixing the offense. Unfortunately.
And Peggy, like I said, the only reason why that I'm not, or I haven't sold my Cincinnati ticket, front row, by the way, great seat, okay, is because it's a tick ticket, and I don't have it to sell yet. Because if it was a Ticketmaster ticket, it would be gone.
Oh, yeah, you said. Right, and I understand that, and I am going to watch every game. I am going to watch it all the way through the 4th quarter, and I'm going to do my after-game analyses. Nothing's going to stop me, because I want to know everything about our team. I want to know the good, what they say, the good, the bad.
The good, the bad, and me, ugly.
And, no, you're not. You are beautiful. You always have been. And I'm enjoying my time, but I got to run. Talk to you
All right.
in 2 weeks. Okay?
In 2
Bye,
weeks.
everybody.
More report card in 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Right.
Right
Tomorrow,
down
the
here.
cage match. Okay. Bye-bye.
Yeah, cage match. Yes,
Bye,
cage match tomorrow. Peggy, thanks again, honey. Appreciate you being here. You got it.
All right. Bye-bye. Mm-hmm.
All right, that's Miss Peggy. So here's the report card, okay? And here it is. I will have another show after this show. And I'm letting you guys know. Ty Rowden, aka KCX Factor, I don't know if he's still over there on Instagram. He was. We were supposed to get together, and because I tell you, get ready for it. It's going to be wall to wall, wall to wall. Kansas City's great. But we both, and now off the record, he agreed with me that yesterday, well, to me it's still yesterday, Sunday's game was close for 3.5 quarters. 3.5 quarters. It was close. But the goal line stand, we're down at the 3 and get 0 points. And then Gardner Minshew fumbling the ball, and they get 7. So instead of being up 7, they're now up 14. That was the game right there. And I have a witness, and she was over there on Instagram. She knows, and the people that know where I sit, I didn't walk out on that game until well after the game. Okay? Because I don't, and I said that I admitted to doing it the Panthers game. So I had to, my legs were horrible, and I had to go and get myself ready for a show that unfortunately didn't happen. By the way, there wasn't supposed to be a live show on Sunday, but I could not get to my computer in time. Oh, that's a home run, baby. Yankees now up 6-4. Bottom 6. Austin Wells hits a home run. But I couldn't get to my computer, and by the time I did get to my computer, the show was already done. That's why, if you were watching, it was a rerun of the report card, by the way. I had a good show on. It was the last show that we had, that Peggy and I did, I believe. So for all those that were looking, yeah, you for unemployment, thank you. And thank you there, Jeff LaFontaine. I gave him a Z in Z formation because there's nothing lower than Z other than Z minus minus. But yeah, Luke Getsy, no offense. Joe Philbin, we would at least have an offense. We would. But, and if Luke Getsy isn't gone during the bye week, what else? What else can I say? We got about 45 minutes on this show. Now, if you want to come in, it'll be till 10:30. I'm going to give you the link so you can come into this show. But I am going to do another show with KC X Factor. Get ready. It's going to be wall to wall how great the Kansas City Chiefs are. That means that I need you. I need you out there to identify. Kansas City is not all that and a biscuit. They're winning ugly, but they are winning. They're winning ugly. Mama Pacheco over there on Instagram, and Raider Dre, King Steven, Dodger Chica, Ola, back to you. Big Dog Odin, Jeff Langham. all those that are there. Yeah, FKC. I got it, Anna. But I know. And Brooklyn Opinion says that KC has the right. They do. But they're winning ugly. But if you want to talk about it, talk now. Talk on this show. Get the link. I put the link up. Talk now. Because I won't be doing that show until this show is done. But I need your support because I'm going to go with it. Like I said, the Raiders were in that game. The Raiders should have won that game, in my mind. And I will also say, I agree with going for it on 4th down and 3rd down. The play calling sucked. I really don't believe the way that we were playing, a field goal wouldn't have helped at that point. Seriously. A field goal wouldn't help in my mind. So I'll say that keeping them down there, I would have done the same thing. But the play calling sucked. B. Stewart. Yes, I'm going to be in Cincinnati. I will be in Cincinnati. So if you know how to get a hold of me, their shipmate, if that's the gentleman I think it is, yes, I will be in Cincinnati this weekend. Dixon, Yamada, the Chiefs are doing something different compared to, and that's winning. Yeah, no shit. They're also getting every freaking call in the book. It's the Jordan rules, the Brady rules. It's now the friggin' Patsy Mahomes, Kermit the Frog rule. So yeah, they are winning. But the Raiders were in that game until midway through the 4th quarter when they couldn't score from the 3-yard line, and then they turned it over immediately after there. All right, yes, Mr. Stewart, I will see you there. You know what I look like, so it'll be good. Raiders have been dysfunctional for decades. That is true. That is true. You're not saying anything that isn't true. But fuck the Chiefs. Fuck them. Sick and tired of having a team that gets everything handed to them. Just like the fucking Cheatriots had everything handed to them because of Tom fucking Brady. There are favorites, and the Chiefs are fucking favorites. And it's sickening. And just like the Cheatriots didn't get their perfect season, three-peat. Okay, we'll see. Hasn't been done. It hasn't been done, Wolfpack. We'll see. I don't think it's gonna happen. And honestly, if a certain team that wears red is in the Super Bowl, I really won't watch it. I won't watch it because again, I know what the outcome will be. No matter who is on the other side, the officials will make sure that the Kansas City Swifties win the fucking game. And thank you, Ed. I said this. The roughing the passer against Kermit Mahomes was bullshit. Oh, Wolfpack, I am being a good sport. I will not watch, honestly. And I'm being honest. I will not watch another Kansas City Super Bowl. But thank you for joining in. I appreciate that, Wolfpack. Can't do it. It's nauseating. And by the way, Wolfpack, and I've said this. The only time that I rooted for Kansas City in a Super Bowl was when they played the fucking Buccaneers, the fake Pirates. And what happened? They got beat. Why? Because the officials kind of helped the fucking Bucks that game. It didn't help that Kansas City's offensive line sucked that game. I will say that. But come on, you had one job. You had one job to beat Tom Brady, and you couldn't even do it. So I won't. If the Kansas City gets to the Super Bowl, I won't watch. By the way, who is the last team? Yeah, that line was horrible. That's why you went out and got some people. That's true. Who was the last team to beat the Chiefs in a real game? Pontificate. I know what the answer was because it was on last Christmas. And again, Wolf, thank you. You knew it too. For 3.5 quarters, that was a game. It wasn't a blowout. It was a game. It was a great game. It's true. But when you can't get any points and you're on the 3-yard line, and then you turn it over the next time you have the ball, so you go down from being down 7 to down 14. Yes, turn on that one. By the way, again, thank you for those folks that are running over there on Instagram. We are not on the national streaming sports network. That ended at 10 o'clock. But if you haven't said anything there, so we are running national, and a great network. And I'm not just saying it because I'm on it. It's a great network. All the people that are doing the show. Why in the blue hell you stop throwing the Wolfpack? Yes, thank you. Why in the blue hell? That's a nice way of saying it. And Myers too. You throw to Bowers and Myers and Bowers and Myers and then they disappear quarters 2 and 3, and they don't get another catch until the fourth quarter. Both of them, and that's our offense. And you are correct, sir. And you know why? Because Luke fucking Getsy doesn't have a fucking clue. That's it. The Bauer should be thank you, tight ends kill Spags. Wolf, we know that. You know that. I know that. Everybody knows that. If you want to pop in, because again, as I see that there are some Kansas City fans, I will be on with Ty Routen in a little bit. I'll end this show and then I'll do another studio and I'll have Otani goes for it all. Yes, I'm watching the series. 6-4 Yankees, top of the 7th right now. My high school coach would call plays better plays. Yes, John. Can you get him on the line? Gunny Goodman, please get him on the line. Pretty much any high school coach can call better plays than Luke Getsy. I hear my phone. 1 second, folks. I probably need to get a new phone. This phone needs a serious upgrade. Yes, it is. My coach your coach played for the Raiders? Who was it, Gunny? We haven't seen anyone run play with. Yeah. No. I'm signing off event, and then I'm going to do another show with KCX Factor. Robert, okay. So if I can see Getsy being fired. Yes, we were talking about. Well, like I said, we have We have Joe Philbin as our offensive assistant. Why the hell he isn't our coordinator, I do not know. Because I will be in Cincinnati to see folks this Sunday. I will be leaving on Friday. And I'll enjoy watching and hanging out. Yeah, Jeff, if you want to come in, or Jeff, I tell you what, make sure you stay watching. I'm going to need as many Raider fans to come in on the next show, because all you're going to be hearing, and I'm telling you this, all you're going to be hearing, and Wolfpack, you can come in on the next show too, because again, I'll have KCX Factor, Ty Routen, and myself. We will be talking about the Raiders Chiefs game. Yeah, I think that he was actually. I think that Hugh Jackson was actually, and Hugh would have came in a minute. Philbin's a damn good coach. Philbin's a damn good coach. So, so again, if we are coming up on the bottom of the hour, I will close this at 10:30. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. I don't know how many people I got out there. Stay tuned for another show, and I'll make sure that I send the link to Ty so he can get in on the show. But there will be another show. It'll be myself and KCX Factor talking about, and Godley for sure. My man Destruction. I will see you in Cincinnati as well, brother. Thank God I got at least Jimmy Godley's going to be there. And if like I said, James, if you want to come in for the next one, that would be great to see as well. Thanks, Wolfpack. And again, and come on in, brother. Come on in, because I talk to everybody, and they can come in. And again, like I said, the Raiders are fucked up. And Peggy and I told you why. But they don't listen to us. They don't listen to us. They not like us. Dodgers, Jeff, Dodgers 4, Yankees 6. I'm getting reports there as well. So anyway, Bowers can run. Yeah, the West will rise again. Check it out, guys. I'm gonna close this one. What is it? Jeff LaFontaine, get ready. I'm gonna put it out there when we do the new show. I'm gonna send it to Ty. In fact, I better call him or let him know. Let's see here. He was just on. I just talked to him. Okay. Where I was talking to him today. I know I was talking to him today. Okay. I'm going to let him know. Check your email in a bit. So we will have that extra show. All right, folks. Thank you for that. And thank you for being here. Thank you for watching the Raiders report card. We'll be back. Remember, just on this channel, just give me a couple seconds to get another studio. Give me another second or a couple seconds for a studio, and hopefully Ty will join us. If not, we'll talk some more. All right. Take care, everybody. We will see you in a little bit. Don't go nowhere. Just stand by. Stand by. KCX and myself talking Raiders Chiefs. We'll see you in a bit.